There we go. How do you like that one? As Jeff Carter would say, the greatest Thailand vlogger in existence, Jeff Carter, spelled Geoff. Give him a look. All right. If I've got peanut butter and jelly on my teeth, I apologize. I was taking care of some business, and I had to wolf down a sandwich really quick. Thomas Leary, good morning. Lucas Musser, good to see you yesterday, brother. Yeah, you like that? You like how professional that was? I'm like, Good Morning America, starting with Philo in the Philippines. Today's news, Jim Alver, good morning. Ricky, Doc, Mike, and Mr. Leary, if you're still here, you were the first one in the room. Mark, every man had a stroke. Alfonso, how are you, sir? Yeah, I had a little powwow with my bud Lucas yesterday. Man, it's been a long time. Long time. Sorry, you guys. I have to get this out of my teeth. Try and wait for about the 45-minute mark to tell the story. It's a good one. You're going to like it. CJ Abroad. Maximus, my favorite troll, is in the house, baby. Put your hands together for Maximus. Oh, by the way, Maximus, I want to talk to you. Whether we do it here or you message me privately. I want to talk to your ass about something. All right? So you just reply here that you're going to message me later, or we're going to iron it out now. It's nothing bad. I've just got a couple of questions for you. Yamaha reminding me of my service is due on the NMAX already. Mitch Bromwell, good morning. Lucas has the same affliction I do. I mean, I can't even, I carry these tooth deals with me, even in a restaurant, anywhere in Angeles that we go to. Maximus, it's nothing. You know everything there is to know about me. Now I want to know a few things about you. Okay. That's all it is. It's just bros, patching up a few holes. Copal, Jeff Carter. Yeah. And as far as I know, or I've heard, Jeff had a popular TV show there. He's from Manchester. And I've heard that he had a cooking show that he hosted, kind of like a Food Network type thing, right? Mitch. Yeah, that hasn't been solved yet. It was obviously hit by something red. We can't think of anything that would cause that. It has to be a car strike. And obviously the bike was tipped over. But the real mystery is why the foot peg was removed, right? Yeah. How you like that? See, I told you, Maximus fucking knows everything. Right? Maximus is, let me give you guys a little story about Maximus, since we're having so much fun. Ricky, he was a morning DJ. Well, you see, I wonder if he was also on the telly, though, as he would say. I love the guy. There's nobody that's more entertaining than Jeff Carter, besides the rabbi, and the rabbi passed away. The rabbi was, amusing to watch. Lucas, CJ was my neighbor. Yeah. CJ lived about 18 houses east of me, but he's since moved out of that house. He's living on Clark now. He's got a nice condo over there in Clark. Yeah, if you've never watched Jeff Carter, spelled Geoff, you gotta check him out. He's just a great guy. I've been watching him for years. God, I picked him up like back in 2013, I think, 2014. He's an old hat, but I worry about him because he always gets so sunburnt on his face. And he's been like that for years. It's like, Jeff, wear a hat, lad. CJ Abroad, I said hello to you, didn't I? I may not have. CJ Abroad. There's people asking. Look at this question here, CJ.
What's up, guys?
And earlier, Mitch Bromwell put up a comment. No, Maximus. Hey, man. You're okay. First, Florida man. Good morning, Maximus. I gave you a compliment. It just didn't. It didn't sit well. You're very knowledgeable about the Philippines, brother. That's why I always say you know everything. Plus, you've been on my channel for years, so I'm just giving you a good poke. That's all.
Ooh, I saw it, Daddy.
Huh?
Saw it, manager.
Oh, did I drop money?
Mm-hmm.
Jonah always finds money on the floor. Oh, sorry. CJ. You know how easy it is? Like, if Jonah holds something shiny up, oh, it's all over. I'm like fucking Homer Simpson. I'm like, ooh, shiny. Anyway, I get very easily distracted because I'm an unscripted hack on YouTube. I'm an unscripted hack, complete hack boy. There we go. See, that's how you can tell you're a narcissist. When you put your live stream up on the 55-inch in the same room that you're already live. Just saying. That's pretty narcissistic. Mr. Ed, how are you? Hey, we got 31 in the room. Wow. 9 minutes in. That's pretty damn good. And you have lots of money, then chump change is easily forgotten. That's true, Maximus. Right on. Oh, by the way, a big shout out to Lucas, who has lost an incredible amount of weight. Through what? What do you think? Do you think Lucas, went online to the Home Shopping Network and bought the latest and greatest diet pill? No, he didn't. He started working out and he changed his diet. It's very simple, folks. Don't believe any of this shit they're selling about if you take this, you will lose so much weight. It's all bullshit. From 115 to 92. There you go. Don't fall for the bullshit. And I'll tell you why. Okay. You go ahead and do it anyway, because you're going to do it anyway. Nobody listens to me. Go on the Home Shopping Network and buy the latest and greatest. Okay. One a day, and it shows the chick all ripped, right? And it shows the guy, he's got abs that could, you could cut a steak on, raw steak. It's all bullshit. And when the bottle shows up, I want you to give me a video call and tell me what it says on the back, because I can tell you what it says on the back right now. It says, take 2 of these capsules a day combined with diet and exercise, and you will lose weight. Guaranteed. Wow. What a fucking amazing thing to say. to your dumb ass customer. How about if we just exercised and diet? Do you think the same thing will still happen? Should we take a vote? Do you think the same thing would still happen? And they've been doing this shit for years. There is tons and tons of money. Jamie's, you're going to do it, bro. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. All right, don't worry. Everyone's saying Ozempic. Yeah, like magic. Now, I'm not saying there isn't medication out there that will induce weight loss, but that medication is dangerous. What they're selling in these jars is just, grinded up fucking orange grinds or something that they powdered. It doesn't do shit for you. But if you take that twice a day and you diet and exercise, I'm sorry, is there a problem with the sound? If you diet and exercise, how's the sound? Give me a sound check. Maximus, that's true. And so many people fall for it. So many people fall for it. Here, I can do an audio check on my TV here. So many people fall for it. Yeah, it's good. We got a 5-second delay, it looks like. Thank you. Sound. Thank you. Wow, we're 31 in. I will start the story at 8 a.m. We're only going to give 30 minutes as we've got so many people in here now. It's a good one. And I've actually, I didn't take any notes. And I'm going to do a couple of shots during the story. Yeah. Weight loss and sleep deprivation. Yeah. There's another good one. Yeah, that's it's a shame that happens, addiction in general, whether it be alcohol, some type of a drug. I think one of the biggest problems that the U.S. faces right now is addiction to prescription medications, right? What was that documentary on Netflix? That pill that's being prescribed for pain. Help me out, Maximus. Oh, did I bait and switch you, Thomas? Did I bait and switch you? Did I say 7:45? You followed up with a smile. You're bait and switching me, huh? Don't try it. I'm a U.S. Marine. And you are surrounded by the military in this room. You will get attacked from air, land, and sea, baby. You can guarantee that. Fentanyl, thank you. Fentanyl and Oxycontin. Yeah, Oxycontin. There we go. There's a fantastic documentary on Netflix about it. It's actually not a documentary, it's a series. And I don't remember the name of it. So it's a good thing I brought it up, right? Because I can't even recommend it. I can't even recommend it because I don't, That's right. And I prefer chocolate flavored, the dark brown ones. I missed out on that era because when I was in the Marine Corps, we had not become crayon eaters yet. It was after I got out. And my buddies, because I'm in a group chat with a lot of the guys I served with who stayed in. They did 20 when I got out in 87. And they tell me that the crayon thing didn't come until the early 90s. And it came from an Army sergeant, some type of a high-ranking Army sergeant. And it stuck. Now that's all they know the Marines as, crayon eaters. But I tell you what, right? You know who you're going to call. That's all I'm saying. Who you going to call when shit hits the fan? You ain't calling the Army. Well, you will call the Army, but the Army's going to back us up. We're going to come in there and kick your fucking ass. That's just the way it works. How do you like that? This is my new camera that CJ talked me into buying, and he damn near bought it from me. I'm so glad I've got it now, though, so I can play with it. I have all this energy now, you know. I'm not stuck down in that deep, dark hole anymore. I'm curious. I want to turn that thing on and see how it works. That is a Sony ZV-E10 4K camera. Yeah, oh, Lucas, I'll give you another look. But don't be hating on me, okay? Don't be hating. Got the flip-out vlogger screen. Oh, huh? I've got the hand carry with it that has all the buttons down here. There you go. Wouldn't you like to be me right now? I know you would. That's a badass camera. CJ, isn't this the one that you gave me? Oh, no. You gave me Bangkok, right? Yeah, I got addicted to these fucking things. And I started running all over Manila trying to find the different, I don't remember how many cities there were. But, I mean, it's a badass cup. It's really nice. I don't even let anybody touch it. No one's allowed to wash it. Thank you, Tim. See, finally somebody steps up. That's why I love you guys. That's why I love you, man. You guys always have my back. Yeah. That one came from which trip was that, CJ? Was that the first Makina trip, or was it the first? Because the first time we went out there was the Inside Racing show. Sony Action Cam. Well, there's another thing that you have a lot of choices on is vlogging cameras or action cams. Yeah. Now I need to find the right lens for it. The lens is nice for standard vlogging, but I'd like to go wide angle. And we had Bill Kazmaier with us. That's right. That's right. We had Big Grumpy Bill with us. Love that guy. Didn't see that camera, Lucas, but I'm sure it's fine. I mean, Sony is, who's going to be next? Do you think Nikon will make an action cam? Nikon has been a pretty well-known camera company for years and years and years. You think they would jump into it? They could make a go at it. Canon? Why not? These trusted names. Or maybe they're just focusing on photography, right? Because there is still that culture that follows photography, traditional photography, even with film. Kind of like the guys who spin vinyls. They prefer to spin vinyl than download something from the internet. CJ says Nikon did make action cams. Ah, see? CJ knows a lot about cameras. CJ is going to help me find a lens for mine. Justin Rogers, thank you, sir. Please stop and say hi next time. I think we were in the podcast. That's probably why you didn't say hi. We were doing a podcast there with Eric. All right, 41 in the room. But only a few people participating. Let's go, folks. Say hi. You're hidden. I can't see you. Don't be shy long. Don't be like the Filipina. Oh, I'm just so shy. I'm just so shy to English. I'm just so shy. I can't do that, Daddy. I'm shy. Mama, I can't. I'm shy. I can't order my own food at Jollibee. I'm too shy. That's why we love you. That's why we love the Filipinas, as Ace would say. They're just doing that to get attention. They're not really shy. Minolta made a handheld. Minolta's a big name, but they're not a big enough name to step into that game. Yeah. B&L channel. I am not shy. Blah. B&L, welcome. Thank you for joining the live stream, honey. Everybody's going for the DJI. Good morning. Lawson's adventure vlog. Well, I am going to be the sole survivor of GoPro because I'm staying with GoPro. I'm very loyal. I know that the GoPro has issues, but the issues the GoPro has aren't big enough to steer me away from their camera. Plus, I have a shitload of accessories for GoPro already. Big Robert. Yeah, Robert's shy. Super shy. We're going to Subic this week, you guys. How do you like me now? We are going to Barreto, and we're staying at the Central Park Reef for our anniversary. Joe Nadona and I have 3 years together on the 19th. What's today? 16th. Yeah. GoPro and a phone. Here's my brother from Avon, Indiana. Welcome, little bro. Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming in. You can watch me bounce off the walls now for the next hour. Lucas said he's still never been there. And I've missed something. What did you say? Still never been where? I've still never been there. Oh, the Drake. You must be talking about the Drake. It's all right, bro. I'm back. I'm back and I'm pissed off. Now I'm going to be messaging you every day and wanting to talk to you. You're going to go, fuck, man. Go back into your depression. You're bugging me. I'm trying to work here. That's what he always tells me. I'm working. Yeah, my brother's a warehouse manager for like an Amazon company. So he's responsible for the package that you get or the package that you don't get. Depends on if he fucks up that day. Right, Ray? Never been to Subic. Okay. Lawson, the hot sauce. David learned. Yeah. Thank you, sir. I've got this. We may go one day, but it'll have to be the middle of the week because I have a thing about tourists. I hate tourists and I hate people in general. So you can't go to Baguio on the weekend. So if we do go, which we will eventually, because Jonah wants to see it, I could care less. I've seen 1,000 vlogs of Baguio, and I have felt the cold temperatures in Tagaytay in the morning when you wake up. Ooh. But I know she wants to go, and I would go just for her. We'll get up there just as the sun's coming up. We'll leave early in the morning. We'll get up there as soon as the sun comes up on a Wednesday. We'll run around, see all the shit that there is to see, and we'll be out of there by noon. Then we'll stay in a beach resort down at the base of the hill. That's how you do Baguio. That is the professional way to do Baguio. Stay away from the crowds and just spend a half a day there. There's not that much to do in Baguio. Although the night market does look cool. I could be sold on staying one night and then leaving at like 3 a.m. the next day to go home. I like to cruise before the sun comes up. Yeah. I have heard of a water pick. If I had one, Thomas, would you want me to fire it up right here on the live? That would be pretty attractive, right? That would probably get some views. I actually like halfway between Baguio and San Juan. Yeah. I've been all over La Union, not so far to the north, but the place we stayed was Bawang, the city of Bawang, and we stayed at the China Sea Beach Resort, and it was nice. It was nice. The rooms need to be fertilized, or not fertilized, but exterminated. But you also have to remember that when you're up there, it's a lot more provincey, so there's going to be a lot of bugs. La Union is pretty neat. It's a pretty neat area, especially when you're leaving to come home and you're cruising down the main road. Sorry, I don't know the name of it, but you're heading south. You're going to head south and jump on the toll road. There's fish vendors. There's one area of the road that has maybe 20 or 30 fish vendors. And man, we got some yellowfin tuna. This is years ago, 2018. Not years ago, but when were we up there? Yeah, like 2018. We got a couple of bluefin, or they may have been yellowfin. Just beautiful. Well over a foot long. And they were like 600 each. We got 2 of them. We were stunned because we lived in Manila at the time, and although fish is a good price in Manila, that wasn't nothing like that. We put one hole on the grill, and then I made steaks out of the other one. We had tuna steaks on the grill. How do you like that? It was fantastic. Fantastic, as Jeff would say. Absolutely brilliant. I love that guy. Remember, Jeff, imitation is the greatest form of flattery. All right. Let's get started. Huh? Pop your popcorn. Oh, wait a second. Wait 1 minute. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh, you're awake. That means you can come and say hi on the live. Yeah. All right. We're going to grease the wheels here a little bit before we get started. Little Alfonso. Cheers to another Monday, fellas. Cheers to another Monday. Another Monday on the Tuesday live stream. Because I used to be Tuesday. And we found out Monday was much better because it's Sunday night where most of you are. And you're looking for something boring on TV anyway. What a better choice than me. Ooh, that's good. That Alfonso is smooth. Jim Schultz, good morning. Mike Foodie. Mike Foodie is what? Can anybody finish that? What do I always say about Mike Foodie? Let's see how well you guys pay attention. And I've said it for years and years and years. Mike Foodie are what? Free Philo in the Philippines coffee cup to the first person that answers it. What do I say whenever Mike Foodie comes into the room? It's okay if you don't get it too. It doesn't matter. But if you do get it, I'll give you a free coffee cup when I see you. Not that it wouldn't be free anyway. All right. I'm just throwing that out there to make it sound interesting. Of course, I'm going to give you the coffee cup. Adrian is selling my coffee cups again on Walking Street. So if you want to go help Adrian out at Christmas time, go buy a coffee cup from him. It's Christmas. Help out the nice vendors and the beggars who deserve it, which there aren't very many. All right, nobody got it. Did everybody leave the room? I don't know. It's just crickets. There's 30 people in here. This is what I call Mike Foodie. So when I ask it again, he won't remember. Mike Foodie knows it. There you go. Oh, look, I answered twice. Oh, yeah, I'm streaming to Facebook too. That's what's cool about this software. Well, that was exciting. I'm good. I'm glad I attempted that. Anyway, let's get on to the story. The story of what happened to us in DAU. I haven't told it. In fact, I was never going to tell it because I was a little embarrassed about what happened. Keeping in mind that there was nothing I could do to prevent it. It just happened, you know. We were just a victim. And at the end of the story, I'm going to tell you why I think it happened and why I think that I'm partially to blame for why it happened to us. And it's something that everybody should think about when they're living here. Roy Thomas, good morning. Adrian does sell a lot of t-shirts. Okay, let's go back in time. The story is starting now. And again, if you've got a question about something, go ahead and ask it. But you know how easily I get distracted. And Jonah is going to be on the live today. She's still awake. She's outside in the dirty kitchen eating breakfast. Okay, we'll go back to December 2022. Jonah and I are living in the Dock A condos at that time. For those of you who were on the channel at that time, we lived over in Balabago in a Dock A condos building. Great place, small apartment, but very safe, great staff. Dock A is, number one when it comes to having a landlord. He's a great guy. He'll work with you on things, and he's just a really easy person to rent from. And our lease was coming up. It was a 1-year lease. It was about to end on the 15th of December. So Doc A, Adriano, came to us in probably mid-November or early November. And he said to me, I'm giving up my apartment in Balabago. And your lease is coming up. You guys are going to have a baby. Why don't you guys take my apartment? And he said, I'm really good friends with the owner of the building, and he has agreed to not raise the rent. The rent was $9,500. And Doc A had been there for 5 years. $9,500, you guys, for a giant, must have been a 1,400 square foot 2-bedroom apartment with a dirty kitchen. It was a nice apartment. We loved it. He took us over there and showed it to us. And right away, I'm like, hell yeah, this is perfect. It resided within Samsonville subdivision in DAU. And this place, was pretty nice. A lot of nice houses, a lot of homeowners on the street. It was a no-brainer for us. And Doc A had already lived there for 5 years. Doc A loved it, but he had just built a new home in Koreatown that they were moving into. So he transferred the apartment right over to me. Even the security deposit and down payment, or even though all the security deposit was transferred to me, I paid Doc A the security deposit. There was no paperwork that had to be done because Doc A and the owner of the building were very good friends. And also, he told the guy, this is an ex-U.S. Marine, white guy, American, and that he prefers to rent to foreigners, especially foreigner vets, because he knows we're trustworthy. Okay, we move into the place. It's great. We like it. Minus the fact that the day we moved in, there was a 10-hour power outage. So that was a welcome. That was kind of a welcome to DAU for us. Not a big deal, but at the time, Jonah was 6 months pregnant, and she's starting to get to the point where things are getting more difficult. You know what I mean? Because it was a breeze for her up until that time. The 7th month is when she really began to slow down, but she still kept walking. And this place in DAU, this Samsonville subdivision, was really, really cool. And what I liked about it was the fact that there was 3 Sorry stores on the street, 2 restaurants. Up on the corner of the street where MacArthur meets, can't remember the name of the street we lived on, there was a BPI, which is my bank. To the right side was a 7-Eleven. Boom, 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 boom. All things that we use. South Star Drugs, Watson's, where we get stuff for Junior. Across the street was Pure Gold DAU. You had Dee Dee's Pizza was right there. You had all these places you could walk to. Probably 20 restaurants. Jumbo Jinra Mall right down the street for shopping. Pure Gold DAU right across the street. It was a very convenient place. You could actually live here and never have a car. You walk out to the end of your driveway, call for a trike. The trike is right there, not even 100 feet away. Boom, they pick you up and take you over to DAU, take you over to Pure Gold, wherever you're going. It was a great place to live. And I love that atmosphere where you can walk 2 doors down to the Sorry and replenish your beer stock or whatever it is you need. If you need a little Nor cube for cooking, Jonah needs eggs for something, it was very convenient. We don't have that here in Timog. This is more like a USA setup subdivision. So we're really happy with the apartment. And as time goes on, first of all, I'll mention we only lived there for 5 months. We took the apartment on the 15th of December, and I moved Jonah and the baby out on the 22nd of May. So we had signed a 1-year contract with the owner, and we bailed out of there at 5.5 months, probably. We didn't quite make it 6 months. So things are going really good there. We really enjoy. I was doing my live streams there on the couch. We didn't have many issues. The one thing I didn't like is we had a couple of beggars a week that would knock on the door asking for money. This is all the way over in DAU, not far from the bus station. So it just goes to show you, word got around that there's a foreigner living in the building. You may as well go up and try and see how stupid he is. That's the way they think. A lot of foreigners feel sorry for these people, and give them money, and that's why they do it. Never give money to beggars, you guys, ever. There's a time when you can do it, and you'll know when that time comes. But you should never, ever give money to beggars, ever. Especially the ones going up and down Fields Avenue, because they are connected in a ring. And a lot of that money goes back to one person. Yeah, I remember that, Lucas. You were vlogging from over here. Pushing the baby carriage, right? Am I right? Is the memory working? Okay, I'm getting distracted. Where was I? So anyway, we really like the apartment, but we noticed the one thing that we notice is there's a lot of riffraff going up and down the street. And they are going down our street because you can make a right-hand turn and there's a back door into La Candula. There's a back door into La Candula, which is the next big housing area behind us. And I didn't say that, Maximus, but yeah, that's the worst thing you can do is give that girl knocking on your door money, because she's going to go back to the sitio, or maybe she won't. She might try and keep it to herself. She's likely going to go back to the sitio and tell them there's a foreigner over there giving out money. And you're going to wake up the next day and there's going to be a line of about 10 of them with their hands out. Rory always wants to make fuck Rory. That sounds fun, Roy, but I just don't have the time. I'm too lazy to do it. Yeah, we notice that it's not, although it's a great place to live, our neighbors are good. There's no problem with any of the neighbors. There's a bit of riffraff going up and down the road. And as it gets closer to the birth of Junior, we start thinking, well, you know what? This is not the best place to raise a kid. He doesn't have anywhere. Once he does start walking, there's no place we can take him outside. There's not a ton of traffic on the main road, but there are crazy people that come down in their personal trike and they tried to they would try to run over the dogs. Not the Toyota trike drivers, but the idiots that had their personal trike. They would come down the road and they would make an attempt to run over the stray dogs. They thought it was funny. That turned us off too, because they killed one of the strays we were feeding. A little dog that was crippled. I just about had him back, and they ran over him and killed him. And they thought it was funny.
Let me see hi.
Oh, there's my boy. Okay, mark that page. The boy wants to say hi.
Hello,
Look at that.
guys. Here, Daddy.
Look at that. Just woke up. Who's a big boy? Huh? Who's a big boy? You see yourself there? Yeah, you're super poggy. You're super poggy, Bubba. Paco Bernarbe, good morning, sir. Maximus. Shout out to Paco. The king of Behold. Maximus is just throwing darts today. Would I watch a Ladyboy football league? I probably wouldn't watch a football league, but I would definitely check it out. I wouldn't become a fan. It's just not my thing. That's my Bubba Boo, Mr. Junior. Malou said hello and good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Ma'am Mary Lou. Magandago magapo. Magandang araw sa iyo po. Wait until he's slightly bigger, then you'll really get a laugh watching Jonah carry him around. Get a laugh already. He's a tank. He's what do you think he is now? 13 kilos? And he's not even 2.
My God, he's so...
Not even 2. He likes he's a TV addict. He loves watching television. Doesn't matter what it is.
Who's that? Daddy? Daddy? Oh, hello, guys. Hello, guys. What's up, guys?
How's that for a family? How's that for a family? Don't be hating on me now. Don't be hating.
Oh my God, Junior is...
Rory, he is trying, yeah. He gives it everything he's got. He's having a little bit problem forming the syllables. A midget carrying around a slightly smaller midget. Bob Barker says, hi, Jonah Dona.
Hello. Hello, guys.
Morbid Tompo. I've had my experience with that. All right. So I left off with the trike running over the dogs. What's so funny? Do you look funny on the TV? Do you look funny on the TV? Oh, Mama's tickling you. He's super ticklish on his legs. Huh, Bubba? Huh, Bubba? You want to do a shot with Papa? You want to do a shot with Papa? No. Maybe a shot of apple juice, huh? Shot of apple juice. Okay. We're just going to leave them on there because that looks pretty good. That looks better than looking at me, huh? But now, I know Jonah is on the channel. You got to focus on the story, okay? So that was like one of the first things that happened that really turned me off. These idiots that would come down and try to run over the dogs. And there were several of them. There wasn't just one trike that was doing it. There was 2 or 3. Then they killed one of the dogs that we were feeding. So that pissed me off. And anyway, just what we did like about it, though, were the vendors that came around. You had the Tahoe guy every morning. You had the fresh coconut juice guy. It was very cool. It was a very cool Filipino neighborhood, minus the Provincy roosters. We didn't have roosters over there, which I don't mind roosters anyway because I don't hear them. I lived in Manila where there were a ton every morning. You just get to the point where you don't hear them anymore. So time goes on, everything's going fine. We're doing well there. And the one thing that I noticed, which I think is strange, and I didn't think about until after what happened, was when we first moved in there, Tao. You know what, you guys, we had a balut salesman in Caloocan City. And you know the balut salesman, he'll run around going, balut, but not this guy. This guy would walk through the neighborhood and go, hula, hula. That was his balut call. And because he was there for millions and millions of years, everybody knew that was balut. He was, hey, you're interrupting my live, son.
Don't interrupt that.
This is going to be an award-winning live, like Marcos's. And so now Junior's born. All right. And at this point, Jonah and I had decided when the year lease is up, we're going to find someplace a little bit cooler, a little bit more kid-oriented. Also, there's no park anywhere, but there was a really good school within walking distance that he would have gone to K through 8. So I didn't really want to leave because of the school, even though he was, 5 years from going. I'm thinking long term that this is going to be convenient. I can walk him to school in the morning and walk him to pick him up. So I like that. Now, also, we hired a Yaya while we were there in DAU. She started working with us. She started working with us in the beginning of April. So we had already been in the apartment 4 months. Magandang umaga to Jonah, I think that is. And everything's going great. This Yaya is a 40-hour-a-week Yaya. She works 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. She had the weekends off. And she was a very long-standing friend of Jonah's. So we had a lot of faith in her and a lot of trust. And she did a great job as a Yaya. I mean, she was dealing with a newborn baby, plus, she did laundry, cleaned the house. I did all the cooking, so she didn't have to do that. And time goes on. Let's go beyond April after she started working. Jonah and I had made a couple of trips to
Manila.
I went to Manila specifically for, just as a treat to Jonah to get her out of the house. The Yaya agreed to take the baby. Junior was about 3 months old at this point. She was very, very good with the baby. She agreed to take the baby for the weekend so Jonah and I could go to Manila and have some fun. And we did, and that went great. We come back, and about 2 weeks later, we do it again because the family really loves Junior, and they love the dog on him. The Yaya had 2 kids that just absolutely loved this dog. And there were nights where she'd just take the dog home with her for the kids to play with and bring the dog home the next day. And there were those occasions where she would come over and babysit for Jonah and I so we could go out and, have a dinner or something, because Jonah had been stuck in the house now for almost 4 months, caring to Junior. And now all of a sudden another trip comes up to Manila, and we go to the Heritage Hotel, and we spent the weekend there running around Pasay, Mall of Asia. We went to the what was that? The water park at H2O.
Yeah.
Cruising through Rizal Park, doing all that stuff that you do when you go to Manila. And we had a great weekend. And we come back, we did like a Wednesday to Friday. And we come back from that trip on the 21st of May. 20th of May, 2023. We head out to the Yaya's house in the trike to pick up the dog and the boy, bring him back home. It's now a Friday. And we had a great time in Manila for the weekend, and we were so happy to see Junior. You know, you miss your kids so much, even when you take a small trip for the weekend. Now, I'm going to have to backtrack, and this is the appropriate part of the story to tell that. We're up to the day that the event happened, okay? The day of the night the event happened. So let's go back 2 months. And I was about to tell you that when we moved in there was a porch light, outside light, which of course wasn't there. They steal all the light bulbs. The previous owner steals all the light bulbs. You've got to buy all the brand new light bulbs. They don't steal them. They're light bulbs. So I bought like an 11 watt. I bought the very brightest bulb I could find for the outside because the property owner had a great set of lights, but they were broken. He had a really nice set of lights, but they were out of service, which I complained about. I said, why don't you fix these lights? It's a security issue. Oh, okay, Po. Because the owner had 2 ladies that worked for him. If there was a problem, you called them. They never fixed anything. But they were nice lights. All they just needed was to be sanded, maybe rewired. He didn't want to pay the electric bill for them. So I bought the very brightest light that I could find. Oh, wow. Yeah, it was there last time I was there, Maximus, a year and a half ago. So I'm at a point in my life where I'm like I am now, bouncing off the walls. I wasn't, I had a lot of energy. And I'm always waking up at 3, 4 a.m. to edit, reply to comments, move on to the next video. So 3 different times within a 3-month period, maybe even 4 times, I would walk downstairs. I would look out the living room window and it was dark, meaning the light was off. And the first time I thought, wow, I just bought that light bulb. How could that be? And I walk out and it's been unscrewed to the point where it goes off. Okay. Now, the first time it happened, I said to myself, oh, it's too bright. I bought a light bulb that's too bright. It's bothering somebody. And they can't sleep because there is a bedroom window just to the left of where that light bulb would be. That's just the way I was thinking. Anyway, I screw it back in, flip the switch, turn it off. It's no big deal. We move on. And then it happens again, like a month later. I go out and the light bulb is unscrewed. And then it happened again 2 weeks down the road. Well, the conclusion I've come to by that, and I didn't think about it before, was those were nights they were trying to get into the apartment and they failed. Those were failed attempts to get in. Of course, they're going to unscrew the light because the fire escape window is right above that light on the roof. We had a long fire escape window, which was lockable from the inside, and we made sure it was always locked. Okay. Enough of that. We can go back to the day that it happened, which is the 20th of May, 2023. It's a typical Friday. We just got home from Manila. We're hanging out with Junior because we missed him. And, just a normal night for a family. We have dinner. About 10 p.m., we all go down for a sleep. Junior's sleeping really good thing because he's an infant. And there's a lot of rain in the area. Yeah. It was storming off and on. It would rain for 10 minutes and then stop. You guys know how it rains here. It doesn't just start sprinkling, right? It goes from 0 to fire or, water storm in a matter of seconds. That's what it was doing. And then it would rain for 5 minutes and stop. Then 20 minutes later, it would do it again and stop. It was doing that all night long. I wake up at 3 a.m. Now, our master bedroom is upstairs. Picture this. There's 2 giant bedrooms on the upstairs. The guest bedroom has that fire escape window. The guest bedroom, which is unoccupied. It's a storage room for us. Joan and I are sleeping in the back bedroom, which is the big master that has the CR attached. And we always closed that bedroom door. I don't know why now. I don't know why we always closed that door because we should have had it open. Or maybe it's best that we did close it. I wake up at about 3 a.m. on the 21st. And I walk downstairs. Everything's cool. I wasn't hungover or anything because we didn't drink the night before. We had just gotten home from Manila, and it's dumping rain. Again, it's doing this all night long. 5 minutes of that, and then it would stop. Another half an hour, 5 minutes of constant. And I sit down on my laptop, and I notice that things are not quite right. You know what I mean? When you've got your personal space, your desktop, this is your desktop, my kingdom, where I create videos and talk to you guys on the live, you notice when there's something out of place. And my reading glasses were like taken out from the bottom drawer of the desk and sitting on top right next to the laptop. Laptop was there. I had the laptop plugged into a gamer's fan that has all these fancy lights on it. And the gamer's fan stays on all night long. Okay, it's a pretty cool thing. And that's an interesting point later on in the story, by the way, the cooling fan with the crazy lights on it. But I noticed things are out of place. Even behind me on the dining room table where I keep all the stuff that I need when I first go out. I notice things don't look right, but I shake it off, right? And I walk up to 7-Eleven. I'm just thinking to myself, oh, it's nothing. I walk up to 7-Eleven. We always had money in the drawer for just small trip to 7-Eleven or the sorry. I grab 100 pesos from out of there. I go up and I buy a couple of donuts and a coffee because I think we were out of coffee at that point. I couldn't make my own. Come back, and then I'm back on YouTube, replying to comments, this and that. At this point, I still don't know there's something wrong. And then I remember that Jonah asked me to pick something up from the 7-Eleven. And I go, shit, I forgot. So I get into my bag, the bag that I carry with me, which is this one. This was laying on the dining room table, by the way. I get into that bag, and my wallet's gone. And that's when I'm going, oh, shit, something did go down here. My wallet's missing. I turn around and look at the front door. The front door's dead bolted shut. So now I'm thinking in my mind that somebody had to have the key to do this, right? And they came in maybe during one of the storms. Now, keep in mind, the dog is gone. The dog's not home. And Junior's not home yet because we didn't go pick him up. Junior and the dog are not in the house at the time. They're still with the Yaya. We got back from Manila a little bit late. And Jonah messaged the Yaya and said, we're coming. And she said, no. Let me keep him one more night. The kids are having a good time with the dog. And Junior's just sleeps all day because he still looked like E.T. at this point, Phone home. All he's doing is sleeping. He's 2.5 months. He was easy to take care of. And we're like, okay. So we had no dog. We had no Junior. Then I start looking around a little bit more. I start paying attention. I go into the cabinet. Or no, I didn't. I didn't find the keys yet to the InMax. So I'm looking around and I notice I've got 2 watches that are missing. Nice, G-Shocks like this one. I'm kind of a G-Shock addict. I've got like 10 of these and I rotate them. 2 of them are missing off the desk or off the dining room table. And that's when I began to realize that something had happened. Also, an iPhone 11 Pro Max, which we had on Marketplace at the time, that was gone. That was sitting on the dining room table because I had just restored it to factory settings and had put a charge on the battery because we had a couple of buyers on Marketplace for the iPhone 11. It's gone too. I'm like, shit. My wallet, the phone, 2 of my watches. Inside the wallet was $25K. Because we had just gotten back from Manila, and I tend to, I had an ATM card, but I tend to have cash on me, and I use Gcash a lot. So we didn't go through the cash that we had taken to Manila because we were using Gcash and swiping my ATM for most of our purchases. And then I finally go over to the door. I open up the front door, and I look out. Sure enough, the light bulb's unscrewed again. At this time, I didn't notice that the fire escape window was wide open. Didn't even notice it. Remember that, because that's important too. I go outside, and the sun's just not up yet. It's about 5:30, 5:15. I look, and the InMax is gone. And I go, fucking A. That's when it hit me. What happened? We got robbed, and they stole the bike too. So I run back in the apartment. I look in the cabinet. Sure enough, the keys are gone. They had gone through that cabinet and found the keys to the InMax, R2D2. So I immediately grab my flashlight, and I start going around the neighborhood into the grass areas looking for the wallet, because they stole the entire wallet, which had everything: my Visa, my ATM, my Philippines driver's license. I lost everything. All that shit I had to redo. My US driver's license was in there. Could have been luck of the draw, Rory. We don't know. We don't know. But I'm certain, because Anim slept with us in the master bedroom, I'm certain that she would have heard something and she would have sounded off. She would have sounded off. She was a very mild-mannered dog, but when it came to somebody, you know, they are protective. And she would have heard that person coming through the front gate down below before they ever climbed the ladder and somehow got into the window. The second thing is, how did the window get unlocked? We don't know how the window got unlocked. Is it something that they worked on a little bit each time they came with a wire or something? Then finally that last time they got it? Because I would never, again, it was just a storage room for us. The door to that bedroom remained shut at all times. We never used it because we didn't want the hot air coming in and fucking up our aircon from the master bedroom. I was probably being watched. Yeah. Probably being watched. No, I don't need a gun. That's not what this is about. So I'm combing the neighborhood, and I go over to the trike stand and I tell the guys, hey, I'll give you 1,000 pesos. I'm looking for a black canvas wallet that says, what's that popular company? I'll show you guys. This is what they stole. They stole a wallet just like this. It says Tribal on it. They took the whole wallet. Not very smart. So it's somebody that has no fucking brain, because I would have just taken the cash and left the wallet. They can't do anything with the cards, but they don't know that. Maybe they tried to use the cards. Although when I called the bank, they said no one had tried to use either card. And I called the bank about, we think, 6 hours after the robbery. So now Jonah wakes up. Now keep in mind, I still have no idea how they got in the house. I'm thinking it was a key. We didn't change the locks. It was Doc A's place. I was thinking that somebody keyed their way in, opened the door, and then just shut it behind them. I go back in, and I get on the laptop, and I send a message to the police department. Yes, sir, we've had a home invasion. Give them the address. They say, okay, we're on our way over. I'm not going to name the police department, okay? It's smart that I don't do that. Jonah wakes up right after I got off the line with the police. And I say, honey, we got robbed. They stole 20K and they stole the InMax. She's freaking. Right?
Yeah.
She was freaking out. She was like, what the fuck, man? How'd that happen? Motherfuckers. You know, Jonah got pissed at her people there. And I said, yeah, look what's missing. Two watches, the iPhone. My laptop is still there. They didn't take the laptop. All of my vlogging cameras are still there, including the beautiful white one I just showed you. My GoPro was sitting up there. I had 3 vlogging cameras and a laptop that was untouched. They only took the phone and the wallet and the bike. Okay. So I go back outside because I'm watching for the PNP to show up. Okay, watching for the PNP. And Jonah says, Daddy, come in here. Hurry. I come in. I go, where are you at? She goes, I'm in the bedroom. I run up the steps. And the spare bedroom had been ransacked. and the window was wide open. Again, I had not seen this because of the shock I was under. I didn't look out. When I went out to look at to find out the InMax was gone, I didn't even look up to see that window was open. I had no idea that that's how they got in. And Jonah goes, look, the window was open, and every drawer of everything that we had in that room had been ransacked. There was nothing for them to get, nothing to find. But they were looking on the way back out. Or there could have been two of them. One was doing the downstairs while the second one was doing the up. We don't know. And finally, back to my story. I never found the wallet. I had 2 different trike stands looking for it. We never found it. Because I was thinking, maybe if the guy's got half a brain, he'll take the money and just chuck the wallet in the street somewhere. And we looked everywhere. I had 2 trike drivers on the back toed of the street and 2 on the front that were combing every area that you could ride a motorcycle by and just toss something. They were looking because they wanted to get that 1,000 pesos. So the wallet never showed up. P&P shows up. Finally, Jonah and I are standing outside. And they walk up to us and they say, okay, what's happening? Because they knew what was going on. I talked to them on the phone. They arrived, by the way, in about 10 minutes. Very quick response from the phone call. And we told them what had happened. The sun's just coming up at this point. It's probably 6:15. Sun's just coming up. They look up at the window, and the one guy, he was like a sergeant or something, goes, yeah. He goes, that's a professional thief that hit you there. They go in the house. They walk around. They look. Jonah shows them everything that was ransacked upstairs. And, Jonah takes over at this point because, they're speaking Scooby-Doo. And it's too fast for Philo to follow up with. And then the second officer, there was like 6 guys that responded. The second group of a twosome shows up, and they asked me the same thing. Sir, do you have CCTV? This is the 3rd time they've asked. Because the first set of cops both asked me, CCTV? No. 2 more come. Sir, CCTV? No, we're renters. I wasn't going to invest in CCTV when we are renters, and I knew in my mind we're not staying. So we didn't do it. Plus, Doc A had already lived there for 5 years. Never had an issue with anything. Now, the P&P comes back downstairs, and we're outside talking. Now all of the neighbors are gathered. Everybody's woken up because the P&P, we've got 2 P&P cars in front of our place. So everybody's down Gomezing, starting the chismis. And the P&P says, okay, well, you guys load up with us in the pickup. We're going to take you down to the station, and we need you to write a statement for what happened. Okay, fine. That's what we do. We go down to the station. They sit Jonah down because they want it in Scooby-Doo. They don't want English. Jonah sits down and she writes a full page. Everything that we've just gone through. They take it, photocopy it, give Jonah a copy of it. They stamp it and then sign it. So it's proven that we did turn in a police report. The guy, by the way, the P&P was super professional and super nice. Just so you know, I was impressed. We get all that done and they give us a ride back home. And they say to me, sir, as soon as you can. Oh, I brought my ORCR. They put my ORCR and license plate number into the national database for stolen motorcycles. Okay, believe it or not, that exists in the Philippines. They actually have a national database so that if the MMDA picks up a bike, they can quickly look and see if it's stolen. All right, so that's that. And we had already signed the lease for this house we're in now in Timog. So the day that happened, once the P&P brought us back to the apartment, I immediately loaded Jonah up, we went to the Yaya's house to pick up Jonah and Anim. And we told them, fuck, we just got robbed. And we lost R2D2. They stole our motorcycle. And they're like, oh my God, how'd that happen? We don't know. The P&P's working on it. Or all we could do is give a statement to the P&P. There's nothing they can do about it. There's no CCTV on the road either. What's that, baby?
They're saving money. They stole that also.
Who?
Ate Lorena.
Oh, I don't know. We don't know. Again, I've never told anybody this story, so I'm sure you're all going to have your own theory on how it happened. So we get home with Jonah from the Yaya's house. We get home with Junior and the puppy. And I tell Jonah, and we're sitting there in the apartment going, fuck, man, can't believe this happened. And I just kept saying to Jonah, you know, I lived in a pretty rough area in Manila, and nothing like this ever happened to us in Manila. And I start thinking about, you know, the neighborhood. If it was somebody from the neighborhood that was watching us, or they just knew the perfect time to come in, because I don't sleep that much. I go down 10, 11 p.m. I'm up by 3. That's a small window. And they know that because the lights come on, right? So maybe somebody was watching us and knew my routine, and they knew right when to enter the house. Plus the help of the rain beating against the steel roof or the aluminum roof, you know the sound that makes. You're not going to hear anything. Yeah. But the dog would have heard him. Had the dog was the dog here. But again, we didn't pick the dog up in Junior because Jonah and I figured, hey, we had the option. That's important that you know this. We had the option to pick up the baby and the dog. The day on the day before the night this happened, we passed on it. Okay, we passed on it. And Jonah and I said, because Jonah and I wanted one more night to go do something. Okay, one more night without the dog. The dog was still a puppy too, so we had 2 babies, really. And I don't remember if we went to dinner or not. We must have done something, or maybe we didn't. I don't know. But I get home from what was I doing that night that I was out? I was out for some reason. I don't know if it was my Marine Corps group that we're meeting. I can't remember now, you know. But I was out till about 9. I got home about 9 p.m. Just did a normal thing that evening. Went to bed at 10. Then woke up at 3 a.m. to find all of this. Okay. So that's basically the entire story. Now, to add to that, interestingly enough, a week later, I get a message from Edgar from Moto Euro Parts in Mabalacat. He was the builder of that NMAX. He was the builder of R2D2. He's the one that added all the carbon fiber panels and just made that bike bitchin'. As CJ would tell you, I had the coolest NMAX in the entire city. CJ would tell you, it did get looks everywhere you went. If I had it parked, whether it was at JJ's Market or it was down at Eurotel Asia, I would always come out and find 2 or 3 guys looking at it up real close, checking out all the carbon fiber parts. There was a lot of detail that was put into it. It was a very, very nice scooter. The nicest one anywhere in Angeles. About a week passes. Edgar sends me a message and says, hey, look at this. He sends me a Facebook Marketplace ad, and there's R2D2 in the ad. The guy's in Nueva Ecija. Nueva Ecija, about 2 hours from me by car. And I say, okay. So the next morning, I take all the screenshots from that. Now, meanwhile, P&P has a nice 8x10 color shot of my of R2D2. And I said, you guys, it stands out. You won't have any problems finding it unless it's been stripped down, because we don't know. It sure would be nice to have an air tag in there just to see where it went. Just an hour after they stole it, I'd love to know where it went. Did it go somewhere close and then they rode it to Nueva Ecija the next day? Because it is a 2-hour trip. I take all that information back to the P&P office. This is about a week after the robbery. They sit me down and they bring in their cybersecurity guy. And he looks at it. They bring up the ad on their computer there, and he goes, yeah, here it is. It's still active. And the cybersecurity officer said to me, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to trap him. We're going to trap him. Tell him we want to come and see the bike. We'll give you a call when we're ready to go. And we'll take you out there with your ORCR and we'll get your bike back. And I'm like, fucking cool, right? I'm like, these guys are awesome. Everybody always talks shit about the P&P. And I'm like, these guys are awesome. And they were very, very professional, very courteous to me. You know, they were great. And I can't tell you which office it was. I'm sorry. It's just not in my best interest to tell you. So I left the office. I was in the criminal investigation office. There's like separate little offices where you go. I left that office with a great deal of confidence that something was going to be done. And within a couple of days, we were going to be riding out there in the P&P pickup truck and get my bike back. Well, nothing ever happened. Nothing ever happened. And everybody's watching the ad because Edgar now has a bunch of his people involved in it because Edgar built the bike. And it wasn't Edgar that found the ad. It was somebody who knows Edgar and said, hey, that bike you sold to the foreigner is on Marketplace. Is he selling it? And Edgar goes, no, he would never sell that bike. And that's when Edgar contacted me and said, dude, because Edgar knew the bike was stolen. That's when Edgar contacted me and sent me the link. Said, you got to look at this. And he said, make sure you go down to the P&P office tomorrow morning and give them this as soon as they open. I go, I will. He said, don't do anything yourself, Philo. Let them do it. I go, yeah, I know. I'm not going to do anything. I don't want to get involved with it. In my opinion, I was lucky. We were lucky that I didn't wake up and confront this guy because maybe he had a gun. It's a shitty thing what they did to us, you guys. But it could have been a lot worse. You know what I mean? It could have been a lot worse. You don't know what you're dealing with. This is somebody that's shabooed up. Maybe they have to do that just to build up the nerve to do it in the first place. Could have had a gun, right? I could have been shot, could have been killed. Over 25,000 pesos. It's not worth it. And a motorbike that can be replaced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So time went on. Nothing ever happened. They never did a thing about it. I never got any calls back from them. And that was kind of a bummer. But they were, in their interactions, very, very professional with me. Okay, very professional. Wow, we've got 57 people in here. Fantastic. Bloody brilliant. As Jeff Carter would say. Back in Patty, doing a bit of motion. All right, you guys, I think I covered everything. And as time went on, and as I said before, I don't know if I finished the story, but I immediately moved Junior and Jonah here to the new house. Even though we had no furniture, we had nothing. DJ Joe brought us his portable bed that you blow up. Or was it a blow up?
Yeah.
No, it was a fold up
Folding
for
bed,
Jonah and the baby
bed.
to sleep on. We had nothing in the house but tile. There wasn't a stick of furniture. But Jonah was freaking out. She didn't feel safe. I did not want to have my wife and child in the house any longer. And I sent on him the dog with him too. I figured, you guys get out to Timog. We know it's safe there. We know it's safe there in Timog. And, you know, I mean, imagine you guys. Imagine how Jonah felt with this. We've got this infant. Thank God we weren't home. Because you just don't know how crazy these people are. And there's all kinds of theories in my head. Maybe they worked on that lock a little bit, 3-4 times previous. But we know for a fact that the window was locked. We would never unlock that window because we know if that window is open, there's a ladder right below it. Anybody can get in. And it had a good solid, it had 2 of them. You know, 2 of those steel locks that come down, the handle types. They were solid. Somehow, little by little, because there were curtains, dark brown curtains that were covering it. Covered that window because, again, we avoided sunlight coming in and the heat because we didn't want it to kill the AC in the house. And that's the story. And as I told that story months ago to my different Filipino friends, like the wife of the owner at CPI Call Shop, her and I were sitting down there at the CPI Call Shop getting hammered one night. She's a friend of mine. I've known her for years. And she said, yeah, she goes, well, you didn't offer them any money. So that's why they didn't do anything for you. You offered no money. And believe it or not, that never occurred to me until she said that to me 2 months later. It never occurred to me because they were so professional in their dealings with me. So professional. And then I hear it over and over again. Tito Road. Yep. You didn't offer him any money. Many people. My neighbor across the street. Yep. You didn't offer him any money. So what was interesting is in the 5 days or so after that incident, Again, I immediately moved Jonah and the baby over. We took necessities from the house, milk, noodles for Jonah. Jonah didn't have a stove or nothing. I had to take her food every day until we got our shit together. Jonah would not live in the apartment another night after that happened. She was very upset about this. So in the week following that, it was just me living in the apartment, walking back and forth. And you know what I noticed in that week's time? Not one person on the street said a damn word to me. And before the robbery, I was always getting, hello, Philo, my friend, hello, from all the truck drivers and my neighbors. Very friendly street.
Yeah.
It's like Cheers, where everybody knows your name, right? But the week that I was there, it took me a week to get my shit together because I'm doing trike runs from here to Koreatown, from Balabago to Koreatown. Every day I'm doing trike runs to get Jonah the shit she needs and to slowly start moving out of the apartment. But not one neighbor would even look at me for the next week or so. Zero interaction from anybody. And I thought that was odd. You know? Was it the trike drivers that were watching me?
Yeah. And then you're vlogging din also.
Was it the trike stand? Was it the fact that I'm a vlogger?
Yeah.
And they know everything that's in the house because I mistakenly videoed. But they didn't steal this laptop. They didn't steal the laptop, which is a very valuable item. It's a MacBook Pro. And the reason they didn't steal it is because it's hooked up to this fancy fan that has all these crazy lights around it. Maybe they thought it was an alarm system, you know. Again, all of my cameras didn't touch them. They took the wallet, basically, and the motorcycle. That's all they took. And a couple of watches. I mean, they're G-Shock watches that are $10K each. It's not that big of a deal. But again, the more I think about it, the more I realize how lucky we were that we didn't wake up, because it could have been a bad thing for me and Jonah. Bob Barker. Yeah. And again, this was a very good place to live. Mike Foodie, there's no such thing as insurance. You don't buy renter's insurance in the Philippines. I imagine you could. I did not have. Now, if you want theft insurance on your motorbike, that's something you have to go out and pay separately. Okay. Maximus, all lip service, no action. Bob Barker, thank you. The neighborhood knew who did it. Yeah, very possible. Very possible. They took small items, yeah. The guy was probably carrying, you know, he probably came into the house with something like this, right? And if they're a subscriber, not necessarily a subscriber, but just somebody who watches my channel, they know there's a lot of stuff you can put in here. A lot of small items. Also, what's odd is they stole 8 of these. See that biker ring? They got away with 8 different ones that I had sitting in a sachet bag on the table. I don't know why. They're not going to fit anybody. These rings are huge. I've got big fat ass fingers. Yeah, there you go, you guys. Wow, 55 in the room. Best live stream I've had in a long time. That's the story. I've never told it. And the reason I didn't tell it is because I'm a little embarrassed by it. And here's why. Okay, here's the point that I was getting to for the end of the story. Looking back on it now, this happened, what, two and a half years ago? No. May 20th of 2023, so it's 18 months, right? About 18 months ago.
Yeah.
Looking back on the whole thing before the robbery happened, Jonah and I move in. I've got this badass NMAX that everybody loves. And I mean, it, you know, when I tell you guys this motorbike was badass, it's no lie. It really was. I realize it's 155cc Okay. And before you say it, I already know that your Harley Davidson Stage 5 kit can blow it away. I don't fucking care. We live in Southeast Asia, and an NMAX is a very desirable bike. And mine was customized with carbon fiber all the way around it. You don't see that. You don't see that because most people can't afford it. But looking back on that, I think I'm partly responsible for having such a nice bike. Maybe it's better to go low key. Maybe it's better to just buy a standard NMAX and not trick it out. You know, maybe I put the target on my own back and I don't realize it. Right? Is that possible? Secondly, we move in. I've got this bitchin' motor, and just a month later, I pull in with a brand new trike also. You guys remember when I bought the trike? That was a brand new Kawasaki Barako 175.
Yeah.
And a brand new sidecar that was custom built out in Magalan. Maybe I put the target on my back. And believe me, I wasn't showing off. That was not even in my mind. I bought the trike so that I could take Jonah to doctor's appointments for the baby. We needed that because we're not going to put him on a motorbike like they do here, right? We're not going to put him on a motorbike. It's fucking illegal and it's dangerous. These people that do this, oh, Joe, if you're here, I'm reading that. Sorry, you guys. So maybe I'm partly responsible for what happened to us there because I drew attention to us, right? I mean, I'm riding that NMAX around with Ducati shirts and Ducati hats because I love Ducati. And it never once occurred to me that maybe, just maybe, this is going to, put a target on my back. And it sure did. Go get some Pop-Tarts, honey. Eat some Pop-Tarts on your live. Yeah, baby. Masala. Oh, by the way, go get our Pasa Lubang. Jonah got Pasa Lubang from a subscriber. We're gonna show this live.
Sir Iggy.
Yes, Iggy, Sir Iggy and Ma'am Iggy got us the 48 count from SNR. How you like us now? Huh? Now all we need is about 17 gallons of milk. And show them what else, honey. Show them. This is our subscribers hooking us up. Iggy and his wife. Iggy's not in here because he's hungover. He was bar hopping last night on Walking Street. Look at that. 25 mini boxes of the greatest cereal that ever existed when we were kids. How about that? Don't be hating on us, okay? Because we've got mad cereal and mad Pop-Tarts. Don't be hating. Where are we at? I'm sorry. Zim Zim, yeah. I'm not a big jewelry fan either. But I've always had a little bit of the biker lifestyle in me. And to me, these are fucking cool. And many of my Thunder brothers have taken rings from me because, if they like it, I just give it to them. So now you can't enjoy yourself because people get jealous and want to rip you off. Well, yeah, these are interesting comments, you guys. And that epiphany didn't really hit me until probably 3-4 months after the robbery. After we're fully moved in here to T-Mog. I never even really thought about it. And then I go, fuck. I drew too much attention to myself. Again, that was not what I was trying to do. I wasn't trying to show off. I wouldn't do that here because you know better. You don't want to become a target of any of these people. Singapore Dan, I remember you. Believe it or not, I remember. Oh, I'm so far behind. Greg, it's a great location. We loved the apartment. We loved being able to walk to everything. Roy Thomas, that's a big 10-4. That's my bike. I won't have it for a week or so. It's in the shop getting adjusted to my height. No. Those are lame-ass cereals, Maximus. Mike Foodie, we walked away. I called the landlord and said, you know what? You don't have security lights here. You've got nothing. This is a dangerous place to live. And I've got a newborn. And I told him, we're getting the fuck out of here because we just got robbed the night before. And it could have been because all the security lights were out and all they had to do was unscrew my light bulb. And I called his secretaries the next day and I told them, I've got a renter for you. I told there was his admin people that do all of his dirty work for him. I told them, we're leaving and I've got a renter for you. And all we're going to do is bring the new renter in. He didn't raise the rent. He was stoked with that because they don't have to do any work then. They got another foreigner that's going to move in. But I did tell them that I did expect to receive the full amount back for the security deposit. And if I didn't, I was going to file a complaint with the Board of Housing that this landlord is providing an unsafe place for his residents to live because he refused to fix the lights. And there's women and children in the building. And they said, no, sir, you're not going to have to do that. Just wait, Longpo, is what she said to me. 2 days later, she sends me a text. Sir, we have a check for $28,000. Come down and pick it up. His office was down near Nepo Center. So I did get everything back as far as the rental money. Doc A was shocked because he lived there for 5 years. He was like, no way. He goes, I can't believe that happened. Here's the difference, though. Doc A had somebody occupying that front bedroom. There was constantly 2 girls that worked for him that shared that room. It was like a stay-in for his employees. So there was constantly somebody in there. There was no way they could have gone through the window and not get noticed. So there you go, guys. That is the story. I made it through. How about that? I didn't fuck it up too bad, right? I actually remembered everything.
Yeah, because that is the worst.
We are in a gated subdivision now. That's correct, Bob. But there's still home robberies inside this subdivision. Occasionally, a house will get robbed. Yeah. And the interesting point of this is that Maximus just said it was Christmas time. And somebody scored big, right? $25K in cash and an InMax they'll never be able to register it. But in the province, they don't care. That InMax will sell for $100K in the province somewhere. Because there's no police out there. You don't have to register anything. You don't have to have a license. You never have to wear a helmet. This is Nueva Ecija, which is way out there, you guys. It's not a Doc A complex, Mitch. Doc A lived in that apartment for 5 years. It's not his. Him and his wife lived in there for 5 years while he was building his home in Koreatown, okay? I mean, the rent was $9,500, you guys, and it was a huge apartment. It was probably 1,500 square foot. It's a big place. When we moved in, also, the owner came in and had somebody repaint, right? It was just really a nice place to live until we started noticing the shenanigans outside on the street. Incidentally, there's also 4 short-time motels. Oddly enough, on the back, say our street comes up here and it dead ends. Then there's a T, and you went this way to go to Lakandula. Well, right along this road back here, there were 4 short-time hotels. There we go. Atta girl. We'll have 180 people in here in a minute. Jonah's eating the Pop-Tarts, baby. You want some milk?
No.
Get yourself a glass of milk, baby. There's only one way to do it. Oh, by the way, we are going to buy a toaster, okay? For all you haters that think she's doing it the wrong way. So what do you think? Any other comments? Wow, it took me an hour to tell that story. Whew. That's good. I've got a lot of stories for you guys. I think every Monday we're going to do a story on live stream. I've got a lot of stories to tell. I mean, I've only been here 7 years, but I've got some stories to tell. So clean, so good, so go.
Hello?
There's somebody that pays attention to the video.
I'm just laughing if I heard that.
Greg, great question. Coincidentally, we had a German Shepherd that just loved us. I've talked about him in this live. We called him Big Boy. And he was a neighborhood dog. He slept under a pickup truck every night. He didn't have a home. So we were feeding Big Boy. And I would always go out about 3 a.m., 4 a.m. We had steel bowls, these big ones. This is a big dog. Beautiful, though. I was always surprised how good this dog's coat was for being stray. I mean, he was beautiful, you guys. It was like he was getting a bath somewhere. But I know he wasn't because he was a street dog. He took a liking to me and Jonah. And he would show up. I would go out about 4 a.m. I would bang the steel bowl with a spoon, not loudly, just because dogs can hear for miles, just lightly. And boom, he would pop out from underneath the truck and run towards the apartment because he knew it's time to eat. Many, many nights he would sleep by the front door. He started protecting us, thanking us for the time that we were giving him. He would come inside the gate. A lot of times the gate would get shut by one of the residents, but he didn't care. He would sleep there on our porch. And then I would wake up in the morning at 3, go out. I was smoking at the time. So I'd smoke a cigarette and just, rub his head and give him some breakfast. This particular night, though, he didn't come home. And he would have took care of them too. Whoever it was just, one of those things. He wasn't there.
Yeah, no.
I remember one night, I did a bender on Walking Street with a couple of other vloggers and got home. I got home about 1 a.m. and I had fucked up and I took the wrong key fob to R2D2 with me. Oh no, sorry. That's not what happened. I left the front door key in the cabinet. I forgot to take it. I probably got sidetracked or I saw something shiny, so all I had on me, JR, good morning. Sorry. All I had on me was the key fob. I get home. It's probably 1 a.m. Jonah's sister was still here helping out with the baby the night this happened. I'm half crocked, right? But not so much that I can't ride and know where I'm at. You know what I mean? I've got a good buzz. So I'm sitting there going, fuck. I start texting Jonah. And I start calling her sister. Because her sister's just right there. Right above me, sleeping in the guest bedroom. Although the light is on. But she's scared of the dark, so she sleeps with the fucking light on. Province girl. No one's answering. Because they're both, these two, if there's one thing, Jonah is not going to wake up from any type of sound. She's not going to wake up. You could walk into the bedroom, drop a steel bowl onto the tile floor, and she would just roll over and go, huh. This girl will not wake up until honey. She sleeps through the sound. It's just amazing. Her sister is the same way. They're logheads. So I give up, right? And I'm leaning against the door. I'm starting to nod off. I'm like, fuck it. I'll just sleep here. It's 2 a.m. I'm a U.S. Marine. I can do 4 hours on the front door, right? It's easy. It's like guard duty in the Marine Corps. In comes so fucking big boy through the gate. And he comes in, and his buddy, he brings his buddy with him, which was Stimpy. Him and Stimpy came in, and they laid down in front of me, right? So I'm out for the night. I'm convinced that I'm fucked. I'm dozing off because again I've got that SMB bus, that walking street SMB bus, and I'm dozing off. I've got my dogs there that I'm taking care of. They're guarding me. And I wake up and about an hour and a half later, and I begin texting again. And I'm calling Jonah this time because I'm thinking surely she's going to get up and pee. Finally, man, she comes down. Fucking A. It was my fault. I left the home key. But that's how loyal these dogs were that we started feeding. They would hang out with us. But unfortunately, Big Boy wasn't there that night. Because he did get to the point where if he heard a noise and the gate was locked, he would go up and give somebody shit at the gate. So like, you ain't coming in here, buddy. This was a good dog. We were going to bring him here with us to Timok. But what happens was our friend who's a Lola on the street, she had been feeding Big Boy for like 5 years. And I went to her and I said, listen, I know he's basically your dog, but would you mind if we adopted him and took him to Timok? You know, he's going to have a home. We're going to give him a home, a house that he can walk into every day. He's going to be Junior's, you know, once Junior's walking, he's going to be Junior's best friend. And she thought about it for a while. She said, yeah. She goes, that would be good for him. He's lived on the street she goes, I've been feeding him for 4 years. She had a different name for him. It was something really weird, some type of it was almost a religious name. I think it was a name from the Bible. Is what she called him. I said, oh, we call him Big Boy because he used to have a son that followed him around that looked just like him. It was Big Boy and Little Boy. Little Boy passed away from drinking street water. He got sick and died right in our patio. But yeah, that dog, that Big Boy, if Jonah and I would go to 7-Eleven and we're walking back down the street to go home, he would come out with his tail wagging, and everybody thought that was so funny because nobody in the neighborhood could even get close enough to touch him. I could go up and grab him by the back of his fur and pet his head, and they were all amazed. They were like, man, that they called, there was a couple of truck drivers that said I was the dog whisperer. I go, no, I'm no dog whisperer. I'm just over it. It took me a long time to get to that point. You know what I mean? It took 6 weeks for that dog to develop that trust in me. We fed him every day. Turns out Lola was feeding him in the evening or late afternoon. I was feeding him about 2-3 in the morning. So he was living his best life. He had 2 people that cared about him. Big Boy was in on it. Fasung Bakam, good morning. Sorry I missed your JR, good morning. Sorry. Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. Greg Bassnight, the Yaya ended up taking on him. The Yaya ended up taking. Sorry. We gave on him to her. Maximus, as far as I know, he's still there. I'm going to be in that area sometime in the next couple of weeks, and I'm going to ride the scooter down there and see if he's still alive. I'm sure he is because Lola has taken care of him forever. And whatever Lola's feeding him, must be good because, I mean, you would never have any idea it's a stray dog. He's beautiful. Maybe she's able to get, you know, I didn't ask her. Maybe she's able to get him in the fence into her gate and brush him or something. Maybe she's brushing him because dogs love that shit, you know. I know he loved it when I scratched his back. He would just, you could tell he was just, you know, he was craving some human interaction, and we gave him that, plus some great food. I would take a Knorr beef cube, one of beef, and a cup of hot water, and stir that up really good, and I'd pour that over his kibble and serve that, and he was just like, man, you can imagine, to a street dog, he yeah, the reason, I'm sorry, I didn't get to the answer to that. The reason that we didn't bring Big Boy is about a week before the move. Now, we saw this lady every day. Jonah would take Junior down and talk to her. She was the Lola in the neighborhood. So we knew her very well. And she finally stopped me one day when I was walking on him. And she said, sir, can you please leave him? I don't want you to take him. She goes, I've had him now for, 4 or 5 years. And she said to me that we're thinking about bringing him in off the street. She had a big gated area there. Once I told her he was going to a good home in T-Mog residence, which she knew about, she said, I want him now. And I go, that's fine. You've already took care of him. And the thing is, when I first started feeding Big Boy, I didn't know he had somebody else paying attention to him. I discovered that over time. I finally went up to her one day and I asked her, do you know who this dog belongs to? Big Boy. She goes, oh no, that's and she blurted out some religion name. She goes, that's blah, blah, blah. I've been feeding him for a while. And I go, that makes sense. Maximus, he was a stray. And I figured if we wanted an ASCAL, the owner of my house has 5 or 6 dogs on his property. And he had a lab for me, actually, the owner of this house. Thank you, Bob. That's what I told her the other night. I go, honey, you're not doing it right. And I opened up a package. I go, watch this. I downed 2 Pop-Tarts in a minute's time with no milk. I go, that's how you eat Pop-Tarts. No, I want to enjoy it. Yeah. Jonah eats 1 Pop-Tart during a 1-hour live.
It's masarap.
You can't complain, though, right? Honey, next time you got to put your hair down. No, I don't know, Maximus. Maybe. She was really really kind lady. Excuse me. I went to the Korean spa yesterday and I lost my voice. Yeah, I don't know, Maximus, maybe. I don't look at it that way. That's, She didn't look like she needed any money to me. Her husband was an OFW and they had plenty of money coming in. They had a nice car. I didn't get that vibe from her, but I know that's the way everyone's going to go. It's always about corruption first here. Yeah. Or for us Marines, it would be in the field. You're in the field for 5 straight nights. Yeah, maybe, I didn't look at it that way. I know that's the way the truly tainted expat looks at things here in the Philippines. But again, she didn't need any money. She was doing just fine. If you're a U.S. Marine and you're a grunt playing war games in the field, you pull out a package of those after 3 or 4 nights in the field. Oh man. You could sell a 2-pack of Pop-Tarts for $25. Who wants it will take the highest bidder. There's a guy that was a guy that did just that. He would bring shit into the field. He was like the mama-san for our company. He would load his pack up with all kinds of shit. Snicker bars, freaking Slim Jims. Can you imagine how delicious a Slim Jim is? Maximus, let's move on, buddy. Let's just say that she was trying to get money out of me, and we'll just leave it at that. I always hear talk about fields. What are those? I always hear talk about fields. What are those?
Phillips Avenue? Walking
I
Street?
lost you, JR. Sorry. We are not synced up, brother. Our moons are not aligned at the moment. I have no idea what you're talking about. So anyway, you guys, that's about it. And I'm at the 2-hour mark. I was happy to see we had 55 in here at one time.
Yeah, baby.
That's got to be, it's not a record. I've had 62 at once. Was my largest live, which is nothing to brag about. But for a small channel like this that nobody watches, hope you enjoyed the story. We'll be back next Monday with another one. And as always, thanks so much for watching.
Yeah, you're so noisy, lah.
Where's my comments? All right. Okay, we're going to get, I'm going to be on for 2 more minutes if you want to say something. Oh, sorry. Yeah, JR, I get it now. Yeah. You were Air Force, right? Yeah, you guys never even saw weeds. You just saw concrete tarmacs. Sorry, you guys. Sometimes I, it's that Imperador soaked brain. Gotcha, buddy. I finally caught up. I had to eat a crayon or two first. You know what I mean? Palinque videos. Yeah. I could probably do Pampang again. I'm going to be doing Pampang when they open the new facility. I think it's going to be another year, though. They've got a state-of-the-art 2-story, 3-story facility next door under construction. 400 million pesos or something. Sorry, you guys, I am not monetized. You can give it to me at a later date. When you're not monetized, you don't get a super chat button. Yeah. Well, different branches. Different branches. It was like for us, we were at home in the field. We were there so much. But here was the great thing about being a Marine, you guys. Here was the great thing about being a Marine. They work your ass off, but you're also compensated with a hell of a lot of time off. All right. Very, very common for us to just do Monday through Thursday, and we'd get at 72. Friday morning at 7, we didn't know it. We're dressed, we're locked and cocked in formation, ready to go. Company CEO comes out and says, well, boys, we're calling Liberty. You get to 72. Imagine that. You think that you're going to have a regular weekend. It's 07 on Friday. You're locked and cocked, ready for instructions, and they let you go home. You talk about, the Marine Corps was a tough place, you guys. It wasn't an easy job by any means. You think you're going to go for a long run or something. They ran our nuts off. That's all we did was run every day. They got to do that. You have to be superior to everybody else, especially your enemy. We had a great deal of confidence, and had we gone into combat, we would have just fucking destroyed somebody. I know it. We were badasses. You just have no doubt at all from the training you've received that, you're going to kick some ass. We ripped off heads and shit down necks, gentlemen. As harsh as that sounds, that's the Marine Corps. I've been doing it for years. Yeah, we're at 156 right now. Let's go to 2 hours. If anybody else has anything they want to say, please feel free. 27 of you left. 2 hours is all I can do now because I'm already thinking about shit I got to get done. If not, then we will go, because I do have some exciting news for myself, which I won't share with you until later, but or maybe I won't share it at all. I don't know. It's up to me. It's up to you, Pope. By the way, pro tip, you see this? Can you see that? I need to turn it this way, huh? Why is that so hard to do? Anchor. This is a power bank. It's unbelievable how much power this has. This is the newest one from Anchor. It will charge my iPhone from, say the iPhone's at 30%, it'll charge it up to 90 in about less than 10 minutes. Faster than the wall outlet well. CJ told me to buy Anchor. Man, am I happy I've got it. And of course it does everything. It recharges my vapes. It recharges cameras, the GoPro, recharges a phone, a tablet. Unbelievable. Fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. Maximus, that's a big negative. And there have been steps taken to make sure that doesn't happen. We're not, only one of us is Filipino in the relationship. The other one is, I know. Paladaba. Namane. Yeah, so if you're looking for a power bank, I had a really nice one too. But, when you own something for about 6 years and you use the hell out of it, it's going to wear down eventually. They do have a shelf life. But man, is it nice to have on the fly. If you're out running through Manila or whatever, I've always had one because of all the shit you have to carry when you're a vlogger. You're trying to entertain your subscribers, as Ace would call it. You guys want to see a funny video? Oh, sorry, I've got it all closed down. Somebody just put a video out blasting Ace this morning. It's a channel called World Tour, or let me see if I can find it. This might be worth sharing. Ace thinks it's hilarious. Let me go into my history. Here we go. Here's a little chismis for you. Check that out. Somebody put a video up, blasted Ace. Okay. I got to go to the bank and get some money. Ba, 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 ba. Thanks for sharing. Welcome. Okay, we're out of here. Carry on. Those in the Philo and the Philippines Army. We'll see you next Monday, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks so much for joining us today. And Jonah says, keep smiling, guys. Keep smiling. You can do it. Don't be sad, okay? If you are sad, do a shot and eat a Pop-Tart. All right, you'll be happy again. Thanks again for joining us. Bye now.